Good morning, and thank you for joining us this morning. My name is Casey Metzger. I am a Senior Product Manager at Microsoft. I am joined today by Michael Rice, who is a Senior Solution Consultant at Ceridian. Today, we are excited to talk to you about a partnership and integration between Microsoft and Ceridian. We have provided the ability for you to take your HR data, employee data that you are storing in Dynamics 365 for Talent, and bringing that data over to Ceridian. You can do all your payroll processing in Ceridian. The output of that processing, then those GL transactions. If you're a Microsoft Dynamics Finance and Operations customer, you can take those GL transactions, store them up to a Microsoft Azure storage account, and then bring them down into your finance and operations systems. If you do use another ERP or finance system, you can still take those GL resulting transactions into your finance system. We've done this all through a seamless integration and storing our data package from Dynamics 365 for Talent, storing that up into a secure FTP site from Ceridian. When I talk about the data that we're bringing over from Talent, this is all that core HR data. So we allow you to set up all your benefits information, your employee deductions. We will bring that over to Ceridian. We will bring over those key pieces of information on your employees, the job, position, and department information. We will also allow you to set up your pay cycles, your pay periods, your earning codes can all be set up in Talent, and we will bring those over to Ceridian for you as well. We'll bring over that key worker data, their contact information, address information, as well as their employment details. So making sure we bring that over, as well as certainly their compensation data all over there. And the great thing about the integration is we've done all the heavy lifting for you. We've done all the mapping from Talent to Ceridian, done the testing there. So you don't have to know and understand the schema of both systems. Once you turn the integration on, we do it all automatically for you. The integration right now does work with the North American offerings for Ceridian, so the payroll processing in Canada, North America, and Mexico. We are currently working with Ceridian on their UK offering, and that project is currently in testing mode, and we will deliver that later this calendar year. So with that, I want to jump in and show you how easy it is actually to set up the integration within Talent. So if I go into my Talent system, this is Microsoft Dynamics 365 for Talent. It's a configuration screen. The first thing you need to do is get that secure FTP endpoint from your Ceridian Dayforce solution. So here is my endpoint and the path where I'm going to place that data package file from Talent. I then need to enter in my username and my password, making sure I can authenticate and hit that path. And then I've set my integration to run every 12 hours. Depending on your business needs, you can certainly change that to be more frequently or infrequently, depending on how often you need that data to be pushed from Talent into Ceridian. Once I've got that information up, I want to test my connection to make sure that my Talent instance can then hit the secure FTP site, making sure that my data package then will be automatically uploaded for me. You can see that my test connection went through successfully. So now when I turn my integration on, that data package will be placed in that secure location. The next piece of data that we need to do is in Talent, if you've set up multiple legal entities or companies, you can indicate, well, which company do I want to integrate with Ceridian? So you can see I've grabbed my US companies that are going to be part of my export solution. I haven't included any of my European offices yet, since again, our integration works with the North American offering. The last thing I need to do is simply turn on the integration. So I just need to turn this on. Turning on this integration then will automatically create that data package for me with all my relevant Talent data and place that package up on that FTP site. You can see I also have a reset integration button, and what that will do is then that first data package load that we do a full load of the data. Any of those subsequent data packages will just take the deltas or the changes of that data and push those up. But if for any reason you need to have a full push of data to Ceridian again, you just need to simply click the reset integration button and we will do a full data load for you. One other thing I want to point out on the screen is if you forget everything Michael and I talk about today, you've had a long week at night, you get back to the office and you think, what did Casey talk about? We do have a lot of documentation out on our integration. So right here, there is a link out to the documentation, which will take you out to our microsoftdocs.com site. If you're familiar with that, we have a whole area on Talent, but we've got a lot of data that talks about the integration. We'll walk you through how to enable the integration again. We talk to you about how to configure your data in Talent to make sure that that integration is seamless. And then we'll get into the details and explain what the data looks like in Talent and how we're further mapping that to your Ceridian Dayforce integration. So just remember, if you forget what we talked about today, we've got a lot of great documentation out there. So with that, I'm going to jump back over into Talent, and I keep talking about these data packages, and let's take a look at what that data package actually looks like in Talent. So if I go over to my data management area, you can see the system's automatically created a payroll integration export for me. I didn't need to go in and create the project. I didn't need to go in and say, well, which entities do I want? The system automatically knew, since I have the payroll integration turned on, it needs to come in and create this project for me. If I go into the project, you can see which entities. These are all the key entities that we've targeted for the integration. We've already set those up, and we've done all the mapping again for you in the testing. You don't need to understand the schemas between the two. So if I go in, I'll just pick one of my entities. And let's just look at some of the mapping that we've done for you already. So you can see we've already done, again, the mapping between Talent and Ceridian. So again, you don't need to understand the different target fields there. So we have done all the mapping and testing for you automatically as part of the integration, allowing you to not have to understand those differences between the systems. In addition to that, in Talent, we have an area called Employee Self-Service. So this is where your employees can log into the system, get to all their information relative to them at your organization, where they can update their personal information. If you're using our performance and development area, this is where they can manage those reviews and goals and their competencies. But we've also allowed you to extend that employee self-service area, where you can put in customized links to outside providers. So I've just created some custom links out here to my Ceridian offering. So if your employees are using Ceridian Payroll, they don't need to have to go to different spots to get to that information. You can embed that information right within your self-service area, allowing them to still go into Talent to get to all their information, but then easily jump to Ceridian so that they can see their payroll history. And with that, I will turn it over to Michael.
All right, thanks, Casey. So we're going to first start off in the role as an employee within the Ceridian application. So you can see I've logged in as Casey Metzger. So one of the things that I want to do from this experience is really be able to see all of my earnings history. So it's I'm easily able to come in here and actually see a preview of my pay stub. So I'm going to be able to see all the detail that's going to be taken out of this current paycheck. I can see that full history. So the next time I go buy a house, I buy a car, I've got it right there. So the Dayforce application can be accessed from what I'm showing you as a traditional desktop experience. We can also deploy this mobilely, so Android, Apple. So right in my pocket, I'll have access to all of this information. What's really unique about the payroll application from a user perspective is we can see that running compensation. So as an employee, as I'm earning my commissions, I'm having my deductions taken out, I can actually see that in a nice grid view throughout the year. So I can really see where is my year-to-date earnings potential, am I on track to make what I want to make. In addition, at the very end, all of those forms that I need, my W-2s, my 1095Cs, I'll have access to that information right from within the Dayforce application. So changing roles, really from that employee to an administrator, I wanted to give you guys kind of a sneak peek as to how do we process payroll within Ceridian. So within the payroll administration area, this is where we can actually see all of the different payroll frequencies that we're really in charge of. So these would span across several different countries. We can access all of those different pay groups for the various different tax IDs. If I wanted to filter out my view, I could certainly do that. And essentially what I can see right on the screen is, a lot of data. I can see if there's any problems with the current payroll runs. I can see what the current status is and all of my pay period dates. So when I want to load a pay run, I simply come in, I load that pay run, and now it's going to start validating all of the information that we've set up. It's going to look at time cards. It's going to look at earning definition codes that have been entered on that employee record. Notice something that's popped up here. So we will set up all of your payroll rules. So this is an example of a soft warning. We also have what are called critical errors. So a soft warning is going to allow my administrator to kind of ignore this if they need to. An error is something that's going to absolutely need to be fixed before we can move on to the next stage within payroll. I always like to say that this is on-screen data. So what Ceridian does from a payroll perspective is we help you, we enable you to run payroll without having to run those dozens of reports. So from a summary view, I can actually see a breakdown of earnings. I can have overtime calculated. I can actually dig into that overtime to see what employees within this specific tax ID actually had overtime. And within all of these screens, we can compare the difference as the last time we ran payroll versus the current time. What we can also do is actually dive into the employee-specific details. So I'll actually open up an employee record here by navigating down here to Aaron Holman, and then I can actually open a flyout. So what this is actually going to do is show me his real-time earnings statement. So if you were utilizing time and attendance within Ceridian, or you wanted to make a modification, it's really easy for me to adjust the timesheet. I can see that earnings statement, how that paycheck has been affected or updated in real time. We can also see right here where the general ledger is being hit. So when we go through implementation, we set up all of your general ledger structure codes, all of your account codes, all of your GL segment codes, so we can really see down to the dollar while we're running payroll which account numbers are being hit. In addition to this, I told you about on-screen data, not wanting to run reports. So we can set up audits right here within payroll so that as you have different occurrences that are happening, you have an invalid social security number, maybe we have a negative earning, we have a bonus that's been maxed out. We actually have these audits that are running every single time we run payroll to make sure that we're not running into any of those critical issues. We can dynamically report within Ceridian Payroll from the specific tasks that you're doing. So I don't have to navigate away from payroll to run those payroll reports. You'll see we've got this payroll report library right here. I can go ahead and click on the template. I went ahead and opened it already. So this is a generic earning register report. We can export these out in CSV. I can put them out in PDF as I've done this right here. So it's very easy for me to generate that report on the fly. There is a message center globally within Ceridian Dayforce. So as the administrator, as I'm running payroll, I might want to generate 2-3 reports. I might not be ready for them right now. They'll run behind the scenes, and I'll actually get an alert in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen letting me know that my reports are ready, and then I can go ahead and open them later. The last thing that I really wanted to speak to is really trust from a compliance standpoint. So Ceridian has been processing payroll and doing tax filing for our customers for over 80 years. So as an administrator here within the system, you can easily come in here. You can see the status of all of those year-end filings as you're doing your W-2s, you're doing your quarterly tax filing, your year-end tax filings. I can generate those previews. And then very similar to the report engine that we talked about as we're actually processing payroll, I have the ability to generate those reports and have them sent right there to my message center. You wanted to show you just from a user standpoint, as Casey talked about mapping those employee records. It's very easy for me as the administrator to come into the system and actually, I apologize, I tabbed out of that. It's very easy for me to come in here and find that employee so that if I want to modify their profile after we've pulled all of the information over from Dynamics, I can start adding different items, specifically payroll-related items to their employee record. So if I navigate here to payroll, I might want to add an election. So let's say Casey negotiated some type of cell phone allowance or a parking allowance. It's very easy for the administrator right here from their employee record to come in here, elect what type of earning that they're going to add that to a specific frequency, and then it's automatically going to flow into payroll for you. So that's what I wanted to cover today, guys. I hope that's given you a good idea from the payroll application standpoint. Now we'll hold for some questions.
Currently, Ceridian customer, what is the product that you're sunsetting into December? Is there a path you can see that could get us from that system into this with the use of talent?
Are you using Ceridian and Talent today?
Not yet, but we're a full Microsoft shop. We're a
Right.
charity, so we get a lot of services from Microsoft. But I can tell from the way that everyone thinks this is going to go, from moving those shifts to any other product, they're thinking it's going to be difficult, but not nearly as difficult as it's going to be. And I think one of the problems is that they don't understand that nobody understands where the mapping from that current product is going to work to get to your new product.
Sure. So, I mean, for any customer that might be a Ceridian customer already, we do have a program called MyMove. So that's something that we could speak of after this, but we do have a dedicated path that if you were wanting to move from one of our legacy solutions to the Dayforce product. We've been doing it with a lot of our customers, and that's definitely something that we could look into with you. But there is a dedicated path program to get you from where you are to Dayforce.
Power BI connector available once you get to Dayforce so that you can view that information inside Power BI?
We could talk afterwards. Yeah. Good question.
Well, Michael and I are happy to stick around afterwards if you want to come up and ask us some individual questions there, but we appreciate your time this morning and have a good rest of your conference. Thank you.